Hi, this is Joe Talley from Theater Rhinoceros. Thank you for joining us this evening for a play that I'm really excited about. I first heard about it when Stuart posted about it on Facebook. I said, let me see the script, please. He shot it over, and I thought, this is crazy. We have to do it. And so here we are. We are now doing it. So really glad that everyone has joined us for The Death of Ruby Slippers, which will be directed by Nick Trengove. So I will turn it over to Nick.
Hello. Thank you. Thanks for that, Joe. Thank you all for joining us for tonight's reading of The Death of Ruby Slippers by Stuart Bousel. This is part of Theater Rhino's monthly reading series. Originally I was set to do this IRL in real life, but obviously that didn't go as planned. But I was really thrilled that Joe asked me to do this via Zoom. I'm just so proud to be able to present this to you all tonight. So thank you for joining us. I'm just going to give you a few quick sort of guidelines. This play looks best in gallery view. So if you are familiar enough with Zoom, in the upper right-hand corner, you should see the option to switch to gallery view. Go ahead and click that, and that will give you the best view as opposed to speaker view. The other thing I want you to be aware of is that Zoom is very weird. It is once in a while, people will drop out of the call. It's very hard to do a live performance on that. We have some fail safes sort of worked in, but I just wanted you all to, I wanted to manage your expectations for that. But also, you know, this is a reading, obviously, so we will have some narration. Use your imagination. I also wanted to let you know that this play is very wild, very dark. There's a lot of language that would be inappropriate for young people to listen to. So if you've got kids speaking in, maybe try and distract them with something else. All right, without further ado, I present to you The Death of Ruby Slippers by Stuart Eugene Bousel.
The Death of Ruby Slippers and what soon followed after. A postmodern revenge romance by Stuart Eugene Bousel. A spotlight snaps on center stage. Gareth is there, covered in dirt, holding a shovel.
There's a silver fog. There is a silver moon rising between antlers of cactus, and I have not slept well. In weeks, maybe years. I can't remember the last time I just woke up. Now I wake up like a scream. Through the fog, the moon reflects us like a knife blade reflects Winona Ryder's face. And nobody said anything for hours. Clay, Aiden, and I. Brooke's been gone since yesterday when we stopped for the first time. Van is asleep cradling his shovel. We've got 3 out of the 4 graves dug, and I'm thinking, what are all the heterosexual people doing right now?
Keep digging, Gareth.
I keep digging. What else can I do? He's got a gun pointed at Aiden. And I'm in love with them both.
Digs his shovel into the earth. Blackout.
I was a theater major. Once.
A light rises on a bar. Ruby Slippers, in terrible but outstanding drag, is sitting at a table with Clay.
I played Macbeth, but my professor said I was just too faggy. You see the princes, Evan, he'd say to me. The princes are laughing at you right now because they can tell your wrists are too limp to effectively stab anybody. That's right. Donald Bain is laughing at you, Evan. Donald Bain. Well, you can imagine how I felt about that. So I grabbed my slippers, click, 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 and ran to the costume department. Nobody's wrists are too limp to sew, right? Anyway, it's okay. I was happier there. But I did miss the stage. So I came back. Because I missed the magic. Of course, now I'm just another cunt who's had it one too many times, right? Oh well, a promise, a dream, a three-way with the football team. Everything turns to shit, right? All caps. But seriously, I get here, and of course there's some bitch already running the place, but I know I'm supposed to do my time, so I play all nice and goody-good. But after a while, I notice I'm not exactly getting prime numbers in the lineup, and it's like, fucking hey. Who does a whore have to throw a bucket of pig's blood on to make some space for the new generation here? Well, turns out the other cunts want that bitch out as much as I do, and so... when she sort of trips/falls down the stairs/elevator shaft and dies in the dark like my second virginity, nobody really worries too hard about it. And the police are like, thanks for getting another crack queen off the street, boys. And I'm like, you said it, fellas. This one's for Glinda. And now I run the place. But at night, when I'm all alone in here, now, I swear to fucking God, I can hear her moan, and I think, who needs to play Macbeth, right? I'm living it. And that's what we call a real San Francisco story.
Gareth enters. He is cleaned up, dressed in the same clothes we saw him in at the start of the play, but fresh. He sits.
Hello.
Hello yourself, honey. You want another beer?
That would be great, thank you.
You?
I'm all right, thanks.
No, he'll take one and a shot.
Well, a shot's on me. One for you both. I appreciate you coming in on nights like this.
We have nowhere else to go.
Oh, that's not true. The city's full of bars.
Well, this is the last one where you can hear yourself think.
Who wants to hear that? I'll tell Van to crank up the music. He's straight, by the way, if you couldn't tell. So, hands on, but only if you tip well.
I'm a great tipper.
Funny. You gotta catch it dripping all over your chin.
How was the toilet?
Covered in staph and chlamydia.
Oh, this place is just so real.
So real. I mean, what color is that wallpaper?
Emphysema?
I miss smoking.
You never smoked.
Not really, no.
So what you missed then is
Yes.
sitting next to
Being adjacent to...
cavalier self-destruction.
You know me so well.
Cheers.
My bottle's empty.
Hold on.
Ray empties his beer, grabs Garrett's face, and drizzles the beer directly from his mouth into his. They kiss.
Thank you.
Bienvenue.
So, it's easy.
Okay.
The only rule is don't lie.
Okay.
And don't think about it.
That's 2 rules.
Well, it's the same rule twice, really.
What?
It's just, you got it?
I do.
Great. You first.
Okay.
No, don't think about it.
Well, I want to ask you something. That's
Exactly. You want to ask something. Just fill in the blank. It's all versions of right. Right?
Huh?
You know what I mean.
Actually, I don't.
No, okay,
So
the point is, you don't learn anything if you think too hard about it. Like, you don't learn anything about yourself. You're supposed to be tapping into your subconscious here.
Okay.
The part of you that isn't rehearsed, isn't constructed, the part of you that isn't polite.
Okay.
So, do it. Go first. Whatever you want to ask.
Okay. What's wrong with me?
What?
Is that the wrong question?
No, it's just
Too soon?
No, too soon for what? I've known you for 5 years now.
6, but that's not the
Okay,
point.
it's
The
it's
point
just
is,
surprising is all.
why?
I don't know. It was very honest.
Isn't that the point?
Yes, but I mean, is that really what's on the top of your head
Pretty much.
all the time?
All the time.
Wow.
I mean, mostly.
Okay.
You see, that's what's wrong with you.
What?
You say that you shouldn't think too much about it.
Well, you
but
shouldn't.
So you always do. So what's wrong with me?
Here you go, boys. Boys, I know this place is dead, but stop looking like fucking ghosts, okay? Laugh or some shit. Not bareback each other in public. You're clearly Truvada whores, so don't let a history of corpses stop you.
I'm going to go contribute to the bacteria pool. See if you can rehearse an answer before I get back.
Is this you breaking up with me?
I would never break up with you.
Well, there's your answer, Clay.
Gareth pulls out his phone. Text someone. Crossfade to a coffee shop.
He's so hot.
No,
Yes, he is.
he's not.
I like his eyes. I like his beard.
He's so hairy.
I like that.
He's fat.
He's not fat.
He's a little fat.
He's heavier. He's not fat. He runs.
I don't believe you.
He's heavier. I like it. It's cuddly.
He's old.
He's not old.
He's sort of old.
He's really not.
You're in love with an old fat guy.
He's not an old fat guy.
You're in love with an old fat guy, a hairy old fat guy.
He's not an old fat guy. He is hairy. That's all you're right about. And I'm not in love with him.
You are a little bit.
Not.
You are a little bit.
I'm not. Okay, maybe.
Ah, see?
Maybe just a little bit.
You can't be just a little bit in love.
Yes, you can.
No, it's all in or no in. That's how it works.
Balls.
That's how it works with love.
What, you hear that in a song or something?
Yes, of course.
What song?
Every song. All the songs. All songs are about that.
All songs?
Yes.
The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
Yes. Duh. And who the fuck picks that song out of like the blue?
He would.
Of course he would. He's old.
It was playing when we kissed for the first time.
You never mentioned you kissed him.
No, it wasn't playing. I made that up.
You never mentioned you kissed him.
Or did I?
Hello, are you hearing me?
There has to have been music. I swear to God I was hearing music.
You never mentioned you kissed him.
I've done a lot more than kiss him, duh.
Oh,
Why would I fantasize kissing someone to the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
because you're a sick fuck.
I'm a sick fuck.
Yeah, into old, fat, hairy dudes.
Stop it.
You stop it.
Brooke enters.
Can I get you two anything else?
Nope.
No, thank you.
You sure? Coffee looks empty there.
We're fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure.
She's such a bitch.
We're not exactly a dream table.
Let's sit here another hour, order nothing, and then absolutely fail to tip her.
Crossfade to the bathroom. Clay is peeing. Ruby is fixing her face in the mirror.
Slow night here, huh?
Whole city seems dead.
Yes.
You know, I went outside to smoke and it's just silent. Utterly silent.
Yes.
You know, your piss sounds like AK-47 shells dropping on polished concrete.
You'd be surprised how often I get told that.
I can see the instrument. I can imagine the comments section.
So is there a back door to this place?
Yes. I've got one too.
Show me.
Crossfade back to the coffee shop.
He used to be perfectly cup-sized is the thing.
Stop.
He's definitely more of a bear now.
Stop.
He used to be really handsome.
Stop.
He used to be young.
No, he's in his late 20s.
It's really more early 40s. Believe me, I know.
Why is that such a crime with you?
It's not a crime. It's just a tragedy.
Everybody ages, including you.
Nuh-uh.
I mean, you're not exactly 20.
I don't know what you're talking about.
How old are you?
Bitch, no. Asian don't crack.
I think you mean black don't crack. I'm pretty sure Asian cracks.
I'm pretty sure I don't know what you mean. Anyway, the point is, he used to be hella pretty, and it's totally fine that he's not so much anymore, and it's also totally fine that you are in total love with him.
I'm not in love with him, totally.
Whatever. Bitch, it's sweet.
Thank you.
Except for the part where he's got a boyfriend, and said boyfriend is totally hot.
You think Clay's hot?
Yeah, I think Clay's okay. And by okay, I mean hot.
I don't even think they're boyfriends.
They're fucking. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You don't stand a chance.
Bullshit.
There's no version of the story where you end up happily ever after. None.
Nobody knows that. Nobody ever knows that.
Honey, listen to me. I'm trying to save you some grief here.
Bitch, back off.
He'll never be yours. Never ever. You can borrow him, maybe.
Borrow him?
You can suck his cock a few times. You can fuck him.
Okay, this is just getting weird.
He'll probably even let you spend the night all wrapped up in his arms.
Why are you doing this?
Your head tucked against that hairy chest.
I know you're just being a bitch.
But Clay has that boy by the balls, and he'll always have him by the balls.
He just texted me.
I know.
Do you? Fuck it, Noel. He loves me.
Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt.
I don't suppose you two want more coffee.
No!
No, thank you.
Well, let me know.
We will.
So go away till then.
Okay.
Just promise me you won't let him play with your heart. You're both old as fuck.
I'm 20.
Only one rung down from fugly, but you're a good guy. And I care about you, even if I'll never let you touch my delicious nubbins again. You can do better than him. But if you insist on selling yourself short, at the very least, he better take care of you right. Because you deserve that. Don't forget it.
Crossfade to the back alley where Clay is strangling Ruby.
Right now, you're probably thinking, what did I do to deserve this? But the fact is, you know. You know. Your whole life has been falling down a fail hole to this moment. You walk in here with your shitty, I vomited on these and woken up in a puddle of my own urine shoes that one, don't match your even shittier dress, and two, aren't even a tie to your name. Seriously? How fucking dumb can you be to call yourself Ruby Slippers and then not wear Ruby fucking slippers? Was there a fucking red sequence drought and I missed the memo? Killing you is a fucking mercy. I'm doing it because you need it done. Because you've been begging for it for years. I'm killing you because this place is fucking empty because guys my age are raising kids in Noe Valley and or having crystal meth orgies. Guys older than me are mostly dead or so deep inside the shame closet they can't find their way out even if Mr. Tumnus shows up in a halter and a jockstrap to light their way. And guys younger than me could just give a fuck about anything other than finding a boyfriend, making money, and telling people who survived the fucking AIDS crisis that it's their fucking social responsibility to get on PrEP and have as much bareback sex as possible. Oh, and by the way, you're racist and bourgeois for expecting me not to be emotionally fucked up and spoiled even though I am. I'm killing you for the boys. All the boys stay behind my firewall. I'm killing you for the guy I lost my virginity to in college who fucking cried on the phone 4 years later telling me I was the love of his life. Fuck that guy! I'm killing you for all the people who are grateful for Glee. I'm killing you because Bravo became Logo and Logo exists. I'm killing you because there's so many volumes of Tales of the City. This is for all the guys who will never be on RuPaul's Drag Race and feel shitty about it, but also for all the guys who have been on it and have to hear about how ugly or obnoxious they are from little internet faggots too emotionally stunted to be in open relationships. This is to light their way. Follow in your footsteps, fellas. Be ruby slippers and find someone nice enough to show you the way out. This is for straight men who think it's okay to ask for blowjobs. This is for gay guys who thinks it's okay to give it to them. This is for people with hearts that still fucking work, but shove that down. Shove it down and just go through the motions because they're so fucking scared to be alone. This is for gay men who think they're feminists and have no actual female friends. This is for self-described pigs. Fuck you for being proud of that. This is for guys who don't fucking read but have fucking six-packs. This is for guys who can fuck better than they can have a conversation but still can't really fuck. This is for guys who think they're really good looking. This is for guys who get on their high horse about taking care of themselves and then put other men down for giving a shit about something other than their fucking bodies. This is for guys who pretend to be sensitive. This is for black guys who call other faggots racist and then only want to hook up with other white guys. This is for people who use cub and bear seriously, and for Asians who embrace tiger and panda. This is for the meth heads who think they're the fucking devil, like it's cool to be the devil. This is for the guys who think Frodo and Sam are gay. This is for anyone who's made justifications for short bus. This is for guys who call each other Mary. This is for guys who think HIV is no big deal. This is for guys who don't know the difference between being polyamorous and just sleeping around. This is for guys who think straight people are inferior to gay people. This is for straight people who think we're fucking animals and fucking perverts. This is for guys who don't care if gay actors can actually act. This is for women who think we're accessories. This is for people who think we can't rape one another. This is for people who think we're all supposed to get along. This is for anybody who ever fucks someone purely for the drugs. This is their fucking warning. You're their fucking warning. Your body. Your fucking legs sticking out from under the house. You want these shoes, fuckers? Come pry them off her cold feet and then wait your fucking turn, because I am coming. I'm leading the hounds of the dead and the lost, and we're coming by moonlight.
Ruby is dead. Crossfade back to the cafe.
So, what is so great about him?
What?
Tell me why you're so into him.
I thought you didn't want to encourage this.
I don't, but we have nothing else to talk about,
You
so...
have other stuff to talk about.
Not really.
Who are you seeing?
Nobody. What's so great about him?
Why do you care?
I don't.
You know him. You don't need me to like.
It's not about him. It's about you.
Oh, suddenly it's about me.
All of our conversations are pretty much about you, so...
Oh, how generous.
Anyway, you obviously want to talk about him.
Not necessarily.
Pretty necessarily.
I feel like you'll just make fun of whatever I say.
Probably
So-
true.
Well, I don't want that.
Fair.
I really do like him. I've always liked him.
Right. But it changed, so something...
I mean, it's not about he's so great or whatever.
Okay.
We just,
Just
there was a moment and it became,
clear?
yeah. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's not like, it's not math.
No, honey, it's definitely not math.
It's not about him adding up or not adding up into the positive.
Or the negative?
You can't add up into the negative.
Debatable.
And I'm not making plans here or anything.
You're just full of hopes and expectations. Terms.
I just know stuff now I didn't know before. About him, about me, about us.
There's no us. There's no you two.
Yes, there is.
No, there really isn't. There's a maybe, there's a possibility of an us, but it's remote. Like 17% chance of happiness.
Even if nothing else ever happens, there is an us. There's always going to be an us.
Because you made out once.
No, because we had that moment where we saw each other.
Oh God, here we go.
You can't unsee each other once you've seen each other. He just texted me again.
Die.
Crossfade back to the bar.
I ordered us another round.
I didn't even drink the previous one.
I drank it, mine and yours. You were gone a long time.
Yeah, well, I was busy murdering Ruby Slippers in the bathroom.
Oh, hot.
You think so?
Duh.
I knew you would.
Let's do the bartender next.
Oh, we'll probably need to.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, we could probably use a hostage.
That's good thinking, actually.
Well, I am the brains here.
We'll see. Thanks for the round.
My pleasure.
Just murdering people is exhausting. I'm actually really thirsty.
I bet. I mean, I can only imagine.
Well, you can not only just imagine, the world is your oyster.
Right.
There's like so many people to kill.
That's true.
It's actually kind of sexy. I bet you like it.
Oh, well, you know me so well.
You do have a dark side.
How can you tell?
And there's nothing darker than hate criming one of our own in a back alley, don't you think?
Ooh, that's some tasty darkness right there, and you nailed it.
What do you think your dick tastes like after she stopped breathing?
What do you think my dick tastes like, covered in her blood?
Only one way to find out, cowboy.
Ooh. Do you think her bones will, like, crunch?
Oh, probably.
She looks pretty low on calcium.
Oh, brittle.
Brittle as shit.
Like a fucking pterodactyl.
Like a pterodactyl with bad eye makeup.
Oh, I want to fuck you on her corpse.
Oh, would you?
Yes, I'd fuck you on her corpse while you blew some guy we interneted who didn't know she was dead.
A trucker, a meth head.
Same difference. Anyway, she's dead in the bathroom. So, we can give it a try. Though I think it'd be a better use of our time if you hold down the fort while I go get a gun and rent a van.
Oh, perfect. I can do that.
Cool. I'll see you in a few. Don't let the bartender go anywhere.
Ha ha.
Clay exits, conspicuously swiping Gareth's phone off the table while he goes.
Clay. Clay. Okay.
Crossfade to the coffee shop.
God willing, there will come a time in your life when you realize that the reason so many songs are about being in love for just one night is that one night is about how long love actually lasts. Everything after that is really just somewhere on a continuum between obsession and fondness. All love songs, if sung the right way, sound like the confessions of some kind of violently insane person. This is because all lovers, depending on who you ask, are in the throes of some kind of violent insanity.
Crossfade to the bar. Gareth stands by the rear door. Van enters.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Is your friend coming back?
My friend?
It's so dead out there. If you guys don't mind, I'm probably going to close up soon.
Oh.
Early, I mean.
Sure.
I just want to get home, and sometimes it can take me forever, depending on the trains, so.
Sure.
I just want to, get home. I just need to clear it with Ruby, though.
Ruby?
The owner.
Oh.
Who I also haven't seen for
it's been a while, right?
Yeah. I mean, not that this doesn't happen. I mean, no customers, and she's a cokehead.
Yikes.
I mean, she's totally wandered off into the night before.
What a flake.
But she could also just be out back smoking. So could you step aside so I can check?
Clay steps in and clubs Van over the head, knocking him out.
What the fuck is going on?
Where did you say that little boyfriend was yours tonight?
I didn't. Is that my phone?
Crossfade back to the coffee shop.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to close up.
You're open for another hour.
You're the only people here, and you haven't bought anything in an hour, so...
Totally understand.
It says on your door that you're open till midnight.
I know, but...
It's okay. We'll pack up and go.
Sure, in an hour.
No, come on. She'd like to go home.
Thank you.
Sorry to keep you here. You've been great.
Thank you.
Noel?
Fine.
Thank you.
Clay and Gareth burst in. They are covered in blood.
Aiden, you're still here.
I texted you I'd wait.
Clay too kinky.
Oh, we're closed, actually.
Clay pulls out his gun.
You sure are.
The hills are alive with dead drag queen hookers. Oh, and those hills are all between 18th and 24th. And how is everybody doing tonight? Oh, it's cold out there, am I right? Must be dead fucking middle of summer. Anyone here from the tech industry? Yes? No? No? Yes? Buy us all around, baby. JK, I know you're broke too. I mean, America, am I right? I mean, the USA. But seriously, folks, who doesn't miss 1997? Who here can still remember it right? No one? None of you? God, what is everyone, 24? Okay, well, basically, have you seen Rent? I mean, that's set in the 80s, but you know how they have these memes where they take a Disney princess and redraw her costume with historical accuracy? Well, if you attempt to draw a historically accurate portrait of 1997, it looks like the original Broadway production of Rent. And who cares, faggot, right? That's what you're thinking, right? But it's our history, fags, and let me tell you,
You shouldn't say that word.
Excuse me.
I said, please don't use that word.
No. You said I shouldn't use that word, but I like it better when you request so we can both agree to your backpedal. Now, which word?
Huh?
Which word do you wish I wouldn't use?
You know which one.
I sure don't. I use a lot of words. I'm a multilinguist. See my tongue?
Please don't be mean to me, older person with their own history and trauma.
Sugar, this is my nice face. The smile's not real, but the puppy dog eyes you can't buy on just any old in-flight catalog.
Huh?
Huh?
It's strange.
Oh, you said it.
It's like I can't understand you.
A given, but go on.
I'm able to hear you.
Hearing isn't listening.
But everything you say...
Everything you hear.
It's like a dog barking?
Bitch, I howl.
Please, don't use that word.
Bitch, you want to howl with me?
I asked you not to.
No, howl with me, bitch. Come on, do it.
I don't.
Howl.
I can't. What is happening? Where am I?
Where do you think?
Why is it so dark?
Because it's nighttime, and the back of the van doesn't have any windows.
Back of the van?
Oh, come on, Wendy. We're here now. That's all that matters. Be here with me. Howl with me.
How do you know my name?
Osmosis. Your blood's trickled into my mouth.
My blood?
And just a little bit of your brain.
My brain?
Yeah, they put your body right on top of mine.
They?
In the back of the van.
Body?
All this stuff coming out of the holes in your head.
The what?
Oh, you know, where they shot you on the way between here and the bar and the coffee shop.
Blackout. Crickets. A street lamp glows, revealing a bench where Samantha sits. Wendy enters and sits next to her. Occasionally, cars are heard driving by.
Men are the worst. I've told you this 1,000 times.
I think we both know your perspective is
Correct.
biased.
Because I'm a lesbian?
Yes, exactly.
Well, not all lesbians hate men.
I know, but you kind of do.
Yes.
So, there you go. Biased.
Well, no, but not because I'm a lesbian.
No, but as a lesbian, you're not worried about finding a man.
Well, it's true. Lesbianism has liberated me from the find a man to live syndrome.
I don't need a man to live.
You kind of do.
No.
You're kind of codependent.
No, I just like having a boyfriend.
Whatever.
Don't you like having a girlfriend?
Well, I'm more a girlfriend's type of girl.
The point is,
I think it's insane to expect people to be with only one person.
you like companionship. Everyone likes companionship.
I like companionship. I don't need companionship.
I need companionship.
I know, because you're codependent.
Okay.
Which is why you're willing to stay with someone even if they are smothering you.
Come on.
Like this dude is smothering you.
He's not smothering me.
He is super suspicious of you. He's always like checking up on you.
He just doesn't like me going out with you.
See?
Yes, but all that means is that he doesn't like you.
What's not to like about me?
The point is that if he was smothering me, if he was like as controlling as you say.
Oh, all we talk about is you.
Is that true?
Or him.
Is that true?
What's not to like about me?
I wouldn't be here with you now, but I am.
What's not to like about me?
Because I do what I want, and he respects that.
Maybe. Maybe he respects that.
And he doesn't like you because he thinks you're not trustworthy.
Whatever.
And that you're trying to get me in bed with you.
Ha!
Well, be honest. Is he wrong?
Ha ha.
Is he?
Ha ha ha.
Is he?
Of course not.
See?
You know I find you attractive.
See? He's right to be suspicious.
Well, you also know I know how to respect boundaries.
Yeah, but you can't blame him for being suspicious.
No, actually, I can. I can blame him for being suspicious of me and of you. He thinks we can't be humans, but also be good people.
I guess.
It's weird that it doesn't seem to bother you.
Of course it doesn't bother me. I accept him.
Does he accept you?
He's trying.
Well, he should. Because you're a grown-up.
Exactly.
And you'll do what you want.
Exactly. I'll do what I want.
Clay enters and shoots both women dead. Gareth enters, stone-faced. For a moment, they stare at one another, and then Gareth starts to drag Samantha's body off. Clay does the same with Wendy. They get blood all over themselves.
Go big or go home, right? You know, there was a fear that some of you are still homophobic enough to let Clay get off easy in your esteem because he'd only murdered some horrible old drag queen. So, we have him kill 2 women to assure you that he's really, really terrible. Also, symbolism. Midnight, moon's down. Oh!
Crossfade back to the cafe. Clay moves the gun back and forth between Noel and Brooke.
So the question is, which one do we kill?
Neither, Clay. Let's just go.
Gareth, come on, please. You've seen From Dusk Till Dawn. You know we can't just go. We either leave with another hostage or we don't leave. Or they don't leave.
Why don't you take both of us?
Excuse me?
Why don't you take both of us?
Interesting thought, but honestly, we
Clay,
probably...
Clay, let's just go, please.
Shut up, Gareth. The fact is, I don't see this, like, de-escalating, do you?
What?
If anything, I have a feeling it's going to really super quick ramp the fuck up. So,
What did that mean, 2 hostages?
there's only so much room in the van, and we've already got a hostage and 3 bodies in there. And as is, we're going to need to take this guy's boyfriend.
Hey, he is not my boyfriend. Leave Aiden out of this.
You know, babe, I would have, but you had to keep texting him like a complete cunt. So,
Clay, please, for fuck's sake, we need to get the fuck out of here.
we're going to. I just need to decide what we're going to do here.
Just take us both, please.
I'm not going to take you both.
Then take her, man.
What?
He's going to kill whoever he doesn't take. I'd rather it be me than you.
He's going to kill us both.
Not necessarily.
It's just a matter of now or later.
Not necessarily.
Don't you see? He's a
Clay, please.
fucking psycho.
Sorry, not endearing.
Clay shoots and kills Noel.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
It speaks. You ready to go, Aiden?
Gareth.
Get him in the van, will you?
Come with me, okay?
Are there security cameras
What?
in here? In this place?
It's a coffee shop.
Yes or no?
No.
Good. Don't worry. We're gay.
What?
I'm telling you, I'm not a rapist. Neither is Gareth. Empty out the cash register, will you? I suspect money is going to come in handy. Is there a safe?
Yes.
That too. Hurry, please. You're a novelty for me, but you're not, like, novel enough, okay?
Crossfade. Outside.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, calm down.
I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you did that.
I know. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh, we should run.
No, you should run.
You too.
I can't. There's this other guy in the van, and I can still maybe sing.
Please.
I mean, it's Clay too, you know? I can't just abandon him.
Oh my god. Are you serious?
He's a person.
He's a psychotic.
That's really true.
You're in danger.
No. Maybe, but not from him. You, on the other hand.
You should run.
He'll follow us. He'll follow me.
I'm so scared.
Me too.
And like horny as fuck.
Right?
You're so beautiful, like so beautiful. Like we're on ecstasy beautiful. God, I can't stop seeing that.
Once you see somebody, you can't unsee them. I want to touch you so badly. Can I touch you?
Of course you can touch me.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Gareth, what's wrong?
Shit. Clay, shit.
Stay with me, Gareth. Stay with me.
That was fucking Noel. He shot Noel. He fucking killed Noel.
You hated Noel.
I didn't know. I didn't.
Yes, you did. He loved Brokeback Mountain.
Is that supposed to help?
I don't know what else to say.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm losing my fucking mind. I'm completely losing my mind.
Just breathe with me, Gareth, okay? Just breathe with me. See that? Do that with me. Do that with me. Just fucking breathe with me, Gareth. Okay? Breathe with me.
Clay enters with Brooke at gunpoint.
God, it's like Bikram when you're all covered in blood like this, isn't it?
Clay pushes Brooke towards Aiden.
Aiden, dear, put Patty Hearst in the van along with the Lindbergh bartender, yes? And wait where I can see you.
How do you know I won't run?
Because you're a coward.
When did we become Leopold and Loeb?
That's a fucking lame-ass comparison, and you know it.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty good.
Besides, don't you think Leopold and Loeb were hot? You told me you thought that.
Okay, no. I think that they're hot in the movie Swoon. I never said.
Same.
No. One is it's
historical fiction.
No. It's fantasy, and one is reality. In reality, I would never find them hot. They killed a fucking kid.
Yeah, well, it's not like we did that.
We've killed 4 people.
4 grown-ups.
Why does that make it better?
I don't know. Just does for me. You know they've all done something to deserve it.
Even if that were true.
Oh well. It's too late now.
Shut up. Just shut the fuck up.
Come here.
No.
Come here.
He puts his arms around him.
I love you so much.
I know. Yeah.
I'm just so scared of you leaving me.
I'm not going to. I'm never going to. You're the one who's going to leave.
No, I won't. I promise.
No. It's okay. It'll be okay if you do, and I won't ever stop loving you ever.
I won't ever stop loving you. You know that, right?
Yes.
You believe that, right?
Yes. Truly.
They kiss, passionately. It grows heated. Gareth gets down on his knees and starts undoing Clay's pants.
Okay, kiddo, we don't have time.
Yes, we do.
We still need to get Noel out of the coffee shop and into the van. We have to clean the blood.
This will only take 5 minutes. What? Are you laughing at me? What?
Nothing, just... We're way more Bonnie and Clyde, don't you think?
Huh?
Than Leopold and Loeb?
I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense. Great romances are heterosexual.
Clay pushes Gareth's head into his crotch.
Come. Spit in my mouth.
Gareth performs oral sex on Clay.
You know, I've always hated 3-ways. Someone's always going to be left out. Yes, you do a hell of a fucking bloody wonderful job making it seem like we're all in it together, but, you know, that's probably what I hate. Like how enthusiastic you always are. Like a shit ton of effort you put into making sure everybody knows how equitably into everyone you are. Even if it's like, it's obvious that one of us is more into the other guy than the other, or he's more into the other one than both of us, which is, let's be honest, is always the case. I mean, they're almost always more into you. They think they're more into me at first, but in the long run, it's always you. Always you. You're the nice one, the deep one, the one who gives a shit what their last name is and where they grew up and where they like their nipples worked, and after a while they pick that up, that you'll always remember them, and that turns their crank harder than the part where I have a nicer body and a bigger cock. And I hate that. I hate that they always think that they get to have some kind of significance when you're mine. You're supposed to be fucking mine, and they know that. They know that coming in. That's the rule. They know that. They're supposed to respect that. That respect is their admission fee coming into our lives for a couple of hours. It's the commission we get for making them feel hot. I don't know, but it doesn't work that way anymore. I don't know if it's that we're getting old or that these younger guys just don't understand the code or whatever. We're just not the same. Like us, the energy between us, like maybe that's changed, and maybe they walk in now and they think, I don't care what they think. I swear to fucking Christ, I don't care what any of them think. Because you love me, so you do this. You love me, so you watch the door and provide an alibi. You love me, and you want us to be together forever, which is what I want. You're fucking backstage singing, yes, yes, please, God, thank you, where you found a fucking way. Because I know you hate everything that is in us just as much as I do. And I know you love surprises and excitement. And when was the last time we were surprised? When was the last time we were really, really excited about anything?
Comes in Gareth's mouth and pulls him to his feet.
I own you. I own you and you like it.
Gareth spits into Clay's mouth. They kiss. Crossfade. The back of the van. Van and Brooke are tied together. We hear the sound of the road. A pile of bodies, Ruby, Samantha, Wendy, Noel, forms the backdrop behind them. As they speak, one by one, the corpses slowly rise and stand, watching them.
So, what do you do?
What?
What do you do?
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm just trying to...
We're sitting here tied to one another.
Exactly.
There are corpses literally rotting, literally next to us.
I can smell that too, okay?
We're in a horror movie, living a horror movie.
I think it's probably like more of a thriller.
And you take this opportunity to ask perhaps the dumbest question ever?
I'm just trying
you do realize we're in incredible fucking danger here, yes?
Yes.
We have been kidnapped by psychotics.
It would appear so.
And this is not a movie. This is real life.
I know.
We are probably going to die.
Wait, whoa. We don't know that.
A great fucking time to make small talk.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to...
Hit on me?
What?
That's what you're really doing?
What?
Is that what you're really doing?
No. Anyway, I'm married.
Why are you going
Because
on?
I'm fucking terrified. Because we probably are going to die. Because I've never felt this fucking lonely in my life. You tell me it's any different for you? You tell me you'd rather die next to a stranger than a new friend, or at least somebody you've had a fucking conversation with? I don't want to die alone, especially die like this, and this kind of alone. I mean, does there really need to be any other reason?
I don't like to talk when I'm scared.
Well, I don't like to be silent.
Well, it's a shame we're in this together then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame for that reason. That's why it's a shame that this is happening.
Well, if you want to try and talk about a way to try to escape...
I mean, I was probably going to try to get there.
Then why didn't you just?
I was trying to establish trust.
Oh, believe me, I trust you. I fucking trust you. You're the only person I can think of right now who hasn't killed someone or acted as an accomplice to a kidnapping and hostage situation. So I fucking trust you, okay? I fucking trust you. And if you've got any ideas about how to get out of this, I'd love to hear them. I am all fucking ears. But if all you want to do is talk or whatever, I can do without that right now.
Talking calms me down.
Talking riles me up.
I can see that.
So then shut the fuck up.
Okay, I will.
And sorry if that offends you or hurts you or whatever.
It's fine.
It's just what I need.
I get it. It's fine.
Thank you.
I wonder if this happened to me because I was such a shitty customer.
I still can't believe we're dead.
Ugh, 3 fags in the front seat and we're stuck with the straights.
It's actually only just hitting me that something has happened.
Like, is that why I suddenly decided to be a hero?
Mostly I just can't believe that I'm dead. Me, personally.
I mean, what kind of heteronormative afterlife have I been condemned to?
I was sitting on a bench in the park.
I know I said, take her, kill me, but now I'm like, I should not have said that.
I wish I had done more with my time. Like, that's really all I get?
I mean, I knew I wasn't going to heaven, but I don't think I deserved hell.
I was talking to Wendy about her stupid codependency issues.
Or like, was that the most noble thing I've ever done?
I never backpacked through Europe. I never rage quit a job. I never learned to be alone.
Especially not boring ass straight people, hell.
And then this guy just walked up and,
Was I a good person? Am I shocked to discover that?
God, why was I so worried about all the wrong things?
If they fall in love, I'm done. Just done with this whole thing.
Wait a minute. Does this mean that we are haunting this van?
I'm a waitress. Not like it fucking matters, but that's what I am. I run a coffee shop.
I'm a bartender.
Great. Feel better?
Yes, actually.
Fabulous. Fucking tight. Now shut the fuck up.
Oh my god. How the fuck do we get out of here?
We need to get out of here.
There's no way out.
No, there has to be a way out.
We're tied to our bodies, right? That's how it works, right?
Do we ascend? Can we ascend?
You're asking questions like any of us are going to have the answers to that.
Is there like a god that we pray to?
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is proof there is no god.
But if we're awake, I mean, if we can talk like this, listen,
Hearing isn't listening.
if we can interact, then maybe there is.
A god?
Or even gods.
I mean, who can say? Nobody here has been dead before, have they?
Exactly. If we can be ghosts.
Is that what we are?
Then there must be some kind of magic.
Or god.
Or even gods.
As in actually dead. Spiritually, I've been dead for fucking years.
Right. Or afterlife. Is there an afterlife? Someplace that we get to go to?
Keep trying?
Sure.
Maybe.
Yes.
Unless this is it.
Unless this is it.
You know, spiritually speaking, I've had this van beat since 1997.
This can't be it. No, this can't be it. Oh, shit. It is.
One by one, they lie down and die again.
My wife's name is Beverly.
I did not ask.
We've only been married for 10 months.
I did not ask.
We were going to start planning a family next year.
I am aggressively not asking.
God, what if she's already pregnant?
Please, please, please stop talking.
Shit, what if she's pregnant? How the fuck is she going to raise a kid all on her own?
Please. Women do it all the time.
Fuck, I've got to get out of here.
I mean, women do it all the time, even when there is a man around. And half the time, there isn't.
I have to get back to her.
Calm down. Panicking isn't going to help.
You don't understand.
No, I do. I really do.
Beverly could be pregnant.
Yeah, well, she probably isn't. And even if she is.
I don't want my kid to grow up without a dad.
Yeah, well, I don't want my mother raising mine. So.
You have a kid?
I have two, actually. And their dad is, well, let's just say I wish he'd been kidnapped by psychotics, because that would at least be an explanation.
Why didn't you say something?
I don't owe you a life story.
Okay.
And I don't want to think about my kids right now. Imagine why.
Okay.
I'm sure your wife will be fine.
I'm sure they will be too.
Please don't talk about them.
Okay.
Please don't ask their names.
I won't.
Yeah, but you were going to ask, weren't you?
Yeah? What's your name?
My name is Brooke, like a river.
My name is Van.
Like what we're riding in?
Yeah, like what we're riding in. But actually it means air.
This is a hearse.
I don't hear anything.
Me either.
We're stopped.
Front of the van. Gareth drives. Clay's next to him, holding a gun to Aiden's head.
Do you think you can lower the gun? There's seriously nowhere I can go, so like you don't need to keep it pointed at me.
Don't worry, the safety's on.
I am not filled with confidence.
Clay, just put the gun down, okay? He's not going anywhere.
It's not why I have a gun to his head.
Yeah, I know it's for my benefit. You don't have to spell it out. And you don't have to do that.
I was hoping it'd turn you on.
It doesn't.
Well, in that case.
Lowers the gun.
Thank you.
Please. I would never have shot you.
Thank you.
I don't need him crying over your body.
Oh.
And we're going to need help digging up all those graves.
Speaking of...
Stops driving.
Is this good?
Yeah. Good enough. Aiden, get out and do everything I tell you.
What's happening?
We're going to drop the bodies,
I figured.
bury them,
Duh.
then go to Mexico.
Mexico.
Which means we're going to have to kill the hostages and bury them too.
No.
Don't worry, you're not a hostage. We'll make them dig their own graves first.
No.
Shut up.
No.
How about just one of them?
No. No,
Just the guy.
none.
We'll keep the girl for now.
Why him?
I don't know.
Let's just,
Do her? Agreed, we'll make it a stag party.
Cafe. Brooke and Aiden, months down the line, sit and stare at each other over cold cups of coffee.
Don't think I didn't feel shitty about abandoning Van like that. I did. But I saw my chance and I had to take it, and I promised myself all I needed to do was to get somewhere safe, and I'd tell everyone what was going on. I'd send after them, after Van and you and whoever. I mean, did you want me to have you rescued? Because I couldn't tell and I wasn't sure, and whatever. I'd tell people, that was the point. I was going to tell people and they'd do something, but I'm not fucking dumb. And I knew that whatever it was that I was going to tell wasn't going to be in the middle of fucking nowhere empire. I mean, I'm a woman and I know when and where is safe. Believe me, it's in my fucking blood. It's Spider-Man sense or whatever. I knew I had to get to the somewhere. Get somewhere. Not and then tell the police or whatever. But that took 2 fucking days to get like anywhere. And I was so fucking thirsty. And it was like someone's vacation home. Did you read about that? I fucking passed out in the back of some place with the words Margaritaville painted over the door. And when I came to, it was Wednesday. And I just wanted to be back home and done with it all. So I claimed that some guys had, I didn't tell details. Just that a couple of strange guys had grabbed me at the end of my shift and made off towards Mexico, and that I jumped from the car and then got lost. Were you raped? They kept asking me, were you raped? And since I wasn't, I said no. And since I couldn't remember what anybody looked like, hadn't actually seen their, well, it just died. And now nobody knows that I'm associated with the whole Hearn and Windsor massacre, and that's how I want to keep it. And yes, I was relieved to find out you and Van were okay. I was. But no, I wasn't going to reach out. And no, I'm not reaching out now. This is just us bumping into each other and walking our separate directions out of this moment. I moved, you know. I quit my job and I put my kids in different schools, and you and this shit doesn't come anywhere near them. You and this shit stays far the fuck away as humanly possible, and that's the favor we do for each other out of common fucking decency. Because I am a decent person, and I think you are too. But I won't fucking think that if I ever see your fucking face again. Understand? Fuck.
What?
I don't know. I don't know. It's like, I want to go, but...
I understand. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have...
No, you shouldn't have. And I shouldn't have. But now I don't want to go. Shit, why do I want to hold on to this?
I don't know. But it's the same for Van and for me. At least we're not alone, you know?
What are you talking about? Right now, this is the loneliest I've ever been.
Crossfade to the desert at night. Gareth is digging. Van is asleep. Aiden, covered in dirt, is also digging. Clay stands between them, holding the gun nonchalantly pointed at Aiden.
I had this dream we were on a boat in Mexico, in Baja, but it was like a riverboat, like showboat, like old-timey with a paddle wheel, like Steamboat Willie, only with a paddle wheel, like showboat. Anyway, you were on the boat with me, and we kept having cocktails and wearing suit jackets. I'm not sure if we were on vacation or working as waiters. Mint juleps, white Russians, something new with vermouth. The point is, we were in love. And it was so easy. The love, I mean. We were drunk always, and talking was like fucking, and fucking was like blank verse. But I wasn't happy. Like you were acrobatically gallant, and you kept smiling at me, but I wasn't happy. I loved you so much, but it wasn't enough. And you loved me so much, but it wasn't enough. So you decided to jump to another boat, which I helped you do. Like this other boat was passing by and you said, "Hey, I love you. Give me a hand up." And I cut my hands and you put one foot in them, and we were like a gymnastics team. And I tossed you and you flew and you landed on the boat like a fucking ballerina dancing. And you smiled at me. And there were tears in your eyes, but you were determined to just... I mean, it was like Titanic, but nobody drowned or froze to death. But you know the part where like the steam tower falls and little Italian kid? That happened twice. And then I watched you drift away into the sunset. And I drifted away into the sunset. There was sunset everywhere. There was sunset everywhere. It was Return of the King on a fucking paddle boat, and then you were gone. So then, our boat docked at the border, and I got out, and everybody spoke French except me, so I couldn't get back into the United States, and my heart was breaking. And there was this nice French woman who pretended to understand, but she didn't, and they wouldn't let me back into the US because it was now filled with French people. So I just sat there, and eventually someone gave me a laptop computer, and when I opened it, it was poisoned, and I died. The keys bit me. Naturally. The last name on my lips was yours.
Gareth swings the shovel and caves Clay's head in. Blackout. The light rises on the past. Music. The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. A Christmas tree. Gareth is kissing Aiden. He suddenly breaks away.
What?
What?
You stopped.
Yeah.
Don't.
What?
Don't think about this so much.
Well, I'm trying not to.
You always think about things so much.
He leans in. Gareth pulls away, but he doesn't stop holding Aiden's hands. Slowly, as he speaks, they begin to dance together.
You're so sweet. Has anyone ever told you that? You're like this incredible warm light. Like late springtime. Like we just took the storm shutters down, finally, and for the first time this year, light is warming and spreading into the shadows again. And the wind is blowing gently. And there's clover, and it's not going to rain, but there's water under the soil, and things are going to grow. Clean. You're so clean. I love that about you. I can't remember ever feeling clean, ever. And it's dumb, but sometimes I catch myself thinking that if we were together, that I'd finally be clean. Just from being with you. Like if we woke up together after drifting off to sleep for a while, it'd be the summer spooning you.
Aiden suddenly pulls Gareth against him with unexpected, almost jarring ferocity.
I love you. I love you, you know that?
Shh. You barely know me.
I want to be yours. I want to belong to you.
No.
Yes. Say yes. Say yes, and I am yours for whatever you want. You can do with me whatever you want. That's redundant, I know. But adorable. Like me. Please, do what you want with me.
What do you want?
That doesn't matter.
That needs to matter. It will matter.
Thought that I was dreaming when you said you love me. The start of nothing, I had no chance to prepare, couldn't see you coming. The start of nothing, ooh, I could hate you now. It's quite alright to hate me now. We both know that deep down, this feeling still deep down is good.
Gareth pulls Aiden close to him.
Holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown. Oh, the rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir.
Crossfade to the interior of the van.
Where did Ruby go?
Who?
The scary drag queen,
The one who was here before us?
and long before you.
The first.
Who knows? Who cares?
Well, she's not in the van.
Her body is. It's over there. Her hand is like creepily close to my crotch.
You mean she left?
Yes?
Does that mean we can leave?
Like, she's basically copping a feel.
Yes?
Every time the van rattles, her hand is a little closer to my dick.
Does that mean we aren't tied to our bodies?
Or that it's a very long leash?
Well, we're not stuck in the van, at least. At the very least, it means that, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. How do we know?
I guess we'll have to try.
To leave?
To leave.
Yes.
You first.
No. You.
Crossfade to the desert. Clay is dead. Van is unconscious. Gareth and Aiden stand opposite one another. Ruby stands in the distance, watching.
I've never known anyone like you.
You've never really known me.
Truly horrible things. You have been through truly horrible things, haven't you?
Yes. And this is just the part that you know about. This is the part that you get to see.
And truly horrible things are going to happen to you, aren't they?
Probably. I seem to be blessed with an interesting but complicated life.
And that's how you want it, isn't it?
Not always. Thank you for helping me rest. Thank you for everything.
I don't want to lose you.
You won't. Eventually, there's a road less traveled by that we're both on, and one day it'll cross again.
Motherfucker.
I'm sorry.
How fucking dare you?
I'm really sorry.
How fucking dare you make me love somebody right now?
I'm sorry.
Manipulative, lying piece of shit.
I didn't lie to you about anything.
I'm talking about me. There's no version of this where we end up together, is there?
No. No, there isn't. I wish there was.
Fuck.
They rush into one another's arms and kiss passionately. For a moment, it stops the world. Then they stop. It is almost dawn.
Go.
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 Be your own, Aiden. I promise to dream about you.
Go.
They separate. Aiden goes over to Van and shakes him. While he is preoccupied with this, Gareth slips out. Ruby follows him.
Hey. Hey.
Oh,
You still with me?
Beverly?
Sure.
Why is it so foggy?
That's your fucking question. Can you stand? We need to get going.
Where are we?
Desert.
There is the sound of the van starting and then pulling away.
I didn't know there was fog in the desert.
Fog can happen anywhere.
Even in a desert?
Desert somewhere, isn't it? Can you walk?
I think so.
Walk.
Crossfade. Gareth in the front of the van.
There's no place like home, because there's no such place as home. Wherever you go, the world is a graveyard, if you're lucky. And if you're not, it's like one of those dreams where you're being followed, but you don't know by who or what. You just know that if they get you, it's gonna be way fucking worse than if you just drop dead of exhaustion first.
Yeah, totally.
You know, we're still in the back, you know. You forgot to bury us. Dug all those graves, but forgot to bury us, moron.
I didn't forget.
Oh, well, let me tell you something, friend. They aren't exactly going to not check when you attempt to drive over the Mexican border. So, unless you're planning to fly this...
Gareth opens the door of the van and throws himself out. Blackout. Crash.
And then the light rose above the horizon, and I knew everything was going to be fine. That there would be healing, and more importantly, forgetting, but also remembering. I knew who I was again and where and why, but most importantly, always most importantly, how.
The light rises.
So who were you?
Who was I? You know who I am.
I don't know who you are.
No. Stop. You know who I am, and you knew who I was better than anyone else, in a way nobody else ever could.
That's what I thought. But what you
People
did...
tell us who they are very early on in our association. We just don't usually listen to them the first time, or the second, or the third.
Why?
Well, you know, usual reasons. Love and stuff.
Were you always like that?
Always.
Did I just not see?
No. There just wasn't the situation. You understand how
I
it is.
don't.
We all have the capacity to
I don't.
something
No,
that
not that.
surprise and astound the people we love.
Oh. Yeah,
Right?
I guess that's true.
And ourselves, of course.
Right.
We all have the capacity to do something that will surprise ourselves.
Right.
Nothing like love to bring that out of us, is there?
That's right.
Or the lack of it.
I love you. I loved you.
I know.
But what were we?
What were we? You knew what we were.
Did I?
Do you?
Yes. Yes, I suppose that I do. Maybe it's just love that I'm
All love is
still figuring it out.
really strong feelings and the lines you cross for someone else.
I never asked you to cross those lines.
You didn't have to. I made the decision for both of us. We had to outrun our despair.
Why am I so grateful?
I can't tell you that. But I'm glad you told me.
Come to me. Come to me now. Come to me from all directions. From each corner I call you. Through each element. By every name. Come to me now and stand before me. Be my legs. Be my teeth. Be my hands. Be my horns.
Never leave me.
Nature take me, I am your bride. Haunt him.
A sudden baying of dogs. Clay runs. The four dead people chase after him. Gareth, alone on stage, listens to the hounds. Runs after them. End of play.
Yay! Congratulations! Yay! Yeah, I know there are people clapping out there and I can hear them. So thank you for joining us. Stuart, that was incredible. Thank you so much. I think that's probably our best reading series ever. It was so well done, Nick, and the entire cast. That was really amazing. Thank you, everybody. We are Theater Rhinoceros. We are so thrilled and honored to present this show here, not IRL yet, but I'm sure it will be sometime soon. And that was really quite amazing. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Theater Rhinoceros continues its productions on Thursday with Majeska, but more than anything, we really appreciate everybody being here tonight. And if you'd like to make a donation to Theater Rhinoceros to support this kind of programming during COVID-19, there's our address right there, therhino.org, or you can send your checks into the address seen below. You can find all this information out on our website. So thank you for joining us. And I want to turn things back over to Nick and the cast, so hopefully they can come back and we can give them some love. Yes, there's Nick.
Yes.
Yay!
Hello. Yes.
Yay! Oh my God, there they are. All those awful people and the nice people too, and half of them alive and dead. Look at you guys are great. That was unbelievable. Just everybody clap so that there's at least clap amongst us.
Yes.
Yes, that was really phenomenal, everybody. So
Thank you so much, John. Yeah.
I think at this point, I know that there are going to be questions on chat, and oh, Stuart's here! Yay, Stuart! Oh my God, Stuart! Stuart, do you have a visual? Can we? Well, I don't want to put any pressure. I don't want to put pressure. No pressure. No pressure. Yeah.
Hold on. Where's that? No, that didn't do it.
I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you, and it says your name.
There he
there he is.
I can't see myself, which is
Oh
really
my
weird.
God, you're there. Look at you. That was terrific. Oh my God. That was like 50 great scenes, one after another. That was wonderful. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's like, it was great. That was really, it started off so innocent, and then it just got horrible, and then it got funny, and then it got horrible again. That was like such a journey. I was so happy. I hate, this is the only thing I hate about Zoom is you can't hear people clapping. And there's like all these people that came and watched it. So I know that there are questions and things, and you want to have like a talk back or something. So I think I'll just leave it with you guys. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just wanted to, we'll do a little bit of like Q&A. So if you have anybody watching, I think Joe should have like let you use the chat function again. So if you have any questions, just like pop them into the chat right there for Cast and for me and for Stuart. But yeah, let me see. I also, I just want everyone to give a round of virtual applause again to this amazing cast. I am so lucky to have you all in my life, and to have you working on this show with me was really just like the highlight of the last 2.5 weeks. You killed it. It was amazing. I also, I don't want to keep you for the Q&A I know some of you are in are in Chicago, so, and it's quite late there at this point. So if you would like to go, you are more than welcome to. But if you would like to stay, please stay. And we'll just do like a short little Q&A. So before I don't know if I have any questions up just yet, but Stuart.
I want to say thank you, Nick. That was amazing. Thank you, Stuart, for the awesome script, and John and Theater Rhinoceros. I have to run, but it was a pleasure and an honor. Best Zoom reading I've been a part of, for sure. So thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you back.
Vince, you were great.
Good to see you, John.
Thank you, Vince. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, before, let's see.
There is a question there. I guess it looks, it's for Stuart. Was this inspired by Leopold and Loeb?
It was inspired by a lot of things. Certainly Leopold and Loeb factor in. When Gareth says that when there's a moment where Clay and Gareth are talking, they say, you know, thought you were in love with Leopold, or you thought Leopold and Loeb were sexy. And he says, I thought they were sexy in the movie Swoon. That is correct. That is a confession of mine. But it's funny because I would say that Leopold and Loeb are figures that factor into my general subconscious. I wouldn't say that they inspired this play, but when this play started to begin to form itself, they were rolling around in there in my head. But there's actually like covert references to murderers throughout the entire script. Some of them are really obvious, some of them are not, but it's kind of, there's like a vocabulary of kidnappings and mass killings used throughout the entire show. So they're no more important than any other terrible duo that kills people.
Stuart, I was wondering too, I know this like originally had its debut in the SF Olympians Festival, of which you are the artistic director. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that, the festival is a playwrights festival. Everyone's given a mythological creature or god or something.
Yeah.
what was the god or the mythical creature for this particular?
So the sort of mythical inspiration was the Wild Hunt, which is a Celtic concept of it's led by a god, sometimes named Hearn, sometimes named Cernunnos, sometimes with other names. He's usually a antlered with like a stag's antlers, and it's the theory of the hunt is that the hunt is kind of the Celtic purgatory, and that if you're truly good, you fall asleep and you sort of go to the realm of Faerie and you're summoned back to life when England is in its greatest need. But if you're not really good, you join the Wild Hunt. You become part of this sort of parade of specters that chase the truly evil through the sky. And so the truly evil become the quarry, and the sort of in-betweens, which is what most of us are, become the hunting party. And they're led by this sort of spectral figure of Cernunnos. And yeah, it's a story I've always found really fascinating. The idea that at night there is this invisible sort of ongoing cycle of or ongoing thing that's happening, and it's a cycle. It's related to the cycle of the seasons and the cycle of relationships and that kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's a question of, are these the actors you've worked with before, or in the previous production, or have y'all worked together a lot? Because the chemistry was just really great.
Yeah.
The original, Nick was the original Clay.
I was, yes, in that in the reading of the SF Olympians Festival. I was, but I think let's see, who's from the original cast? I think yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I was Gareth the first time around as well.
And
Heather was Wendy.
Yeah, that's right.
And Vince was Van.
Mm-hmm. But I have met some of these actors fairly recently. I've done shows with most of them. I think Bryan's only the like new person. Like we met doing another Zoom reading actually, which was sort of fabulous. I was like casting this and I was like, Bryan, I need you. This is this is the right role for you. But yeah, I think one of the best things about doing, one of the gifts of Zoom, despite its many limitations, is that it's able to sort of like collapse space and time a little bit. So we could all, I mean, we rehearsed for 2.5 weeks, basically. It was a pretty quick process, but we were able to sort of like, you know, do a quick like little 45-minute thing here, a quick hour thing there. And then, of course, Dekyi, who played Brooke, and Shane, who played Clay, they live in Chicago. They used to live in the Bay, but they live all the way in Chicago now. So it was great to rope them into this process too. And thank you for staying up so late, by the way.
Well, actually, you know, that is one of the things that Zoom productions make possible, that we can have, if they can stand the hours. We had one production where we had one person in San Francisco and two were in Cork, Ireland, as they were doing it. And so it was like 3 a.m. for them when they were doing it. So as long as actors can stay up or manage it, you know, this is a great opportunity for a lot of cross sharing, both nationally and internationally. So, yeah, there was also a Mr. Tumnus reference. I missed that.
My sister actually says, "Love the Mr. Tumnus reference. That was gold. Great writing." So
great, thank you.
Yeah, you've got a fan in Haley Trengove. That's for sure.
Everyone loves the idea of Mr. Tumnus in a leather halter. Or why not, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean, what's not to
love?
Like.
Well, I just like to put out to the actors, I know just from acting myself, sometimes getting a really crazy person or evil person or sick person can be something to really sink your teeth into. It can also, well, just throw it out there. How was it, taking on these characters, and not just like the murderers, but the people who are just thrown into these dire circumstances? How was that for y'all? Anyone can speak at any time.
I think in general, the main thing that I was going through with Clay is this is somebody who's going through a major existential crisis. And a lot of what happened, even though like Clay mentions that a lot of this has already lived within him, this kind of venom, and this kind of became the vessel for him to kind of express that. But I think a lot of that really stems from really an existential crisis of finding belonging in this world now. I think that there's a lot in him that is seeing, in a way, the world pass him by. And I think a lot of that is very, very scary. And so I think a lot of this is lashing out in a world that he doesn't feel like he belongs in anymore. And so that's why, for me, a lot of this, where he's calling out the hypocrisy, is basically saying, I now live in a world that I feel like doesn't love me anymore.
That's a really great observation, Shane. Actually, that's awesome. Shane got it, everyone.
Hey. I just realized, should we change our names back?
Oh, you may. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
All
please,
right.
please change your names back to your original names, your real names.
Be yourselves. Yes.
Yes.
Be yourself.
Step out of the play and back into real life.
Unless you're not ready to.
Right.
Everyone has their own process.
True. I mean, can I ask a question of the cast? Is that cool?
No,
Awesome.
absolutely not. You cannot.
So obviously this play comes from a pretty dark place. It's certainly the darkest thing I've ever written, I think, probably. And to sort of build on Joseph's question, as a playwright, there were many times that I was writing this play and I was like, this is going to make people so uncomfortable. This is going to be so uncomfortable for actors to do. And yet I made a sort of bargain with myself to not compromise or pull any punches. But are there, I guess, to continue on that, like what is the challenge, and is there a payoff for you as actors to have roles like this, or are you really just saying, like, we just gritted our teeth and got through it? Or what are the checks and balances for you that make a role with these kinds of challenges a worthwhile challenge and not just like a dare, basically, that you've taken, if any, or if it wasn't like that for you, that's good to hear too. So
I can say that Gareth is a pretty damn challenging guy to play. To put it lightly. It's like, I'm getting torn up by my big attraction for Mr. Clay and then Aiden over there, and they're very different people. So kind of trying to find the, I guess, the different aspects of Gareth in those scenes, while it is a great challenge and I do enjoy it, it's sometimes like really tricky to find some sort of balance, especially when, we go to such extremes of, him, murdering someone in front of me and threatening my other lover's life, and then having to deal with that, and then having that somehow become turned on, and then being fellatio in, it's like, whoa, and it's fun. It's very challenging. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. For what it's worth, when I was writing the fellatio
staged.
What?
Yeah.
Speaking of fellatio, I can't wait to see this staged and how that gets handled.
For what it's worth, when I was writing that scene, I did have a moment of like, oh, this is too far.
Did the scene just start to snowball there, Stuart?
Snowball, yeah, exactly.
I'll say, when I first read the script, Nick didn't really tell me anything about it. He was just like, hey, there's this part and it's a drag queen and you do drag, would you be interested? And I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. And then reading the script and going through it, I was like, whoa, this is not what I was expecting. But I think it's interesting because it did make me uncomfortable at times. Like that first monologue where Ruby's getting strangled is so much to take in. Especially knowing that I was going to be the one being strangled, and I was like thinking about how we're going to like do that, right? But it was also, I think for me, it's like playing those kinds of characters or being in those kinds of situations. I mean, that's like peak, like where I think actors are really good at being human. Sometimes, not all the time, but like being able to learn how to empathize with things that have that couldn't be further from your reality, and hopefully being able to then look at it with some clarity of understanding and not judging the character, the person, or not judging the writing, not judging the character, but really judge, like if this was a real person, obviously that's a terrible person, but as a character, the character exists for a reason and is saying something for a reason to tell a story. So yeah, I think it's a really fascinating piece. It is jarring though. I mean, I think that's unavoidable, but that's kind of the best art, right? Like kind of takes you by surprise.
Thank you for saying that.
Piggybacking off of what Sal just said, I totally agree with you, Sal, about the like actors being able to separate, the what they're personally comfortable with in real life from like what they're comfortable portraying on stage. And I also think it's really important as an actor to like have your own set of boundaries that you have with yourself. Like, this is not something I'd be comfortable doing on stage. And obviously for all of us, everything in the play we were comfortable, doing in this reading. But, there might be an actor who says, I don't want to be, involved in a piece that has, I don't know, on-stage sex, or that has nudity, or that has graphic violence against a person. And I think it's important that you have that you're allowed to have that boundary, and that therefore that means you have to be able to see the script before you accept, a role in something, which of course Nick very generously gave us all the chance to look at the script before we accepted our roles. And I feel like that's thank you so much, Nick.
You're welcome.
No, and I just mean that's like it's a line that you have to be able to draw for yourself if like the subject matter is something that you are not comfortable pushing yourself to do, or putting yourself in the position of. Obviously for me, I didn't have one of the like violent roles in the show, so it's like, I can die, that's fine. I don't mind.
But violence is visited upon your character. I guess that's why, even with, even though your character is not committing any of these heinous acts, they're happening to her. And so, yeah, this wasn't like, I didn't just like show up with like a copy of the Crucible and be like, are you comfortable doing this? Like this, I really had to give all these actors like a disclaimer, like, hey, let's read this through. Let me know if this is something you want to be a part of, because there's a lot of violence and a lot of sex, a lot of sexy violence. So
I think kind of on that note, it's kind of like, I think for me, my rule is like, I think I'm willing to go anywhere that the script takes me, as long as it's not gratuitous. Like there's a lot of horrific things that do happen, but it's not gratuitous. Like everything just seems like a justified expression of their own being. It's kind of funny because like, I watched a little bit of Short Bus, and it was completely gratuitous. It was completely gratuitous to watch. But you have something like this that can push that similar boundary, but it's like there's a reason for why that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Now that's what you want to hear with a piece like this, is that it doesn't feel gratuitous. Because me listening to it, I of course second guess everything the entire time once I hear it up. But that's good to hear from someone on the inside.
Yeah, and one last thought that popped into my head was that like, while the play definitely like has a lot of like really kind of racy content, and like there's one thing about like how would it be staged in a really, if it were to be staged, there's a way that a director would make it, not gratuitous, as Shane was just saying, right? And then there's also the element of like, as an actor, it's not just like, oh, someone gets killed on stage and there's this violence and this violent language, but it's like, okay, the character said that, but is that what the play is saying? Like, is the play's stance the same as the characters? And I think, that's why you read through the whole play, and by the time I got to the end, I was like, oh no, the play is making a very clear point about this character and the perspectives that this character holds. It's not necessarily trying to reinforce those ideas, which I think is where I would have been like, ooh, uncomfortable, but it's more,
Right, the arc of the play tends towards justice, which is good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the play is definitely not
a whole lot
used
more
to
time,
be
but
play.
Stuart, there is this one question here. What was the purpose of writing this particular play, and what was the main idea that you wanted to convey?
I always feel like this is a loaded question, because if I want people to get out of something what they get out of it, and if it's not what I put into it, I don't want them to think that they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because the reasons why I write something do not have to be the reasons why you enjoy it or not enjoy it.
All the artists are nodding their heads right now vigorously.
So with that in mind, that caveat in mind, I actually would kind of like to hear more from Sal about like what he thinks it was ultimately about, just because I would love to hear what you think that is. But for me, the play is actually, it's an exploration of codependency. And it's really about how we lose ourselves when we fall in love with somebody. And that love is actually like a really violent, disturbing emotion that comes into our lives. And I'm not saying that we all do terrible things for it, but I do think that there's a really key line in the play where he says, all love is very strong feelings and the lines we cross for someone else. And to me, it's an exploration of how far anyone's willing to go in that process of pursuing someone else to the point of losing who you are. And then how we rediscover who we are. It's how it comes full circle. It's a cycle, that there is a moment of connection, and then everything kind of spins. One of the best things I've ever heard was like, all Romeo and Juliet is about two people who meet, and for a hot second it works, and then all hell breaks loose. And that's Romeo and Juliet in a nutshell. And that's everyone's love story, right? To some extent or another, we all have some version of this. And that the play for me is exploring that. And the point behind it is the point that I think any playwright or any artist or writer has when they make something. It just was the right time to tell that story. I was going through a lot of thinking about that in my life. And actually the play was completed in what was the final year of a 12-year relationship for me, that I was working through all the feelings that were wrapped into both having loved someone for a very long time and also feeling that love affair change and coping with that. So that for me is why it happened now and what it's kind of about. Hopefully that answers the question. Sal, what did you think?
Yeah, that was a great answer. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, the codependency thing, I think the kind of more sexual parts of the play really drive that home too. This sort of like, almost like dom sub kind of relationship that they have, and like the way that they're so willing to like accept this craziness for each other. Like he goes, you'll go from like being shocked, like, how could you kill someone, to wanting to, get on his knees. And it's like, yeah, like that doesn't make sense, but like romance doesn't always make sense. And I think sometimes people like cling to romance, like that creates meaning for their lives. And I think, like, going back to that monologue, it's like that monologue was about ways in which a character does not seem to be connected with the world, and then he kills someone who seems to represent all of those things that he seems to not feel connected to anymore. But the one thing that he's connected to is this person, and he wants to do anything for this person, even if it's, and that's
yeah,
that's what I got. I don't know. And Stuart said it's not wrong.
No, it's not wrong. It's great. I love that. Anyone else? What else do you? Anyone else?
Very Heathers in that way. Very Heathers. Very Veronica Sawyer and JD.
And there's a reference to that in the.
I know. I was so excited when I first read it, and I noticed the reference to Winona Ryder's face in the knife. because that's all about, you know, crazy. Yeah, I think he says to her at one point, he's like, our love is God.
Yeah.
Love is a power trip, which is interesting.
I think the thing that I was struck with watching it the most was Lives Interrupted. You see a lot of movies and plays about this sort of thing, but I've never seen such a rich exploration of the lives that were destroyed by it. And all the characters had, as you say, codependencies or some sort of issue. They had rich, complicated lives, which weren't necessarily laudable or perfect lives, but they did deserve to die. And when it came, it was horrible. And there were even in the resolution things that weren't necessarily commendable. I remember Wendy's character, I hope I got the name right, the waitress, she ran away from it.
Brooke.
Brooke, excuse me, Brooke. She ran away from the incidents. And I always think she earned it. I mean, she's earned the right to not have to go through this anymore. And that's real and unique. I don't see that in stories like this. They tend to be mostly about the violence, mostly about what happens around the violence and the continuing violence. But there was such simple things. The cafe scene between the two guys was just like so normal and so funny. And you really liked the two of them, although you, as you say, they were just totally codependent. You're like, would you two just stop? But it was hysterical. And then all of a sudden they're just dead or, you know, abducted, and they didn't deserve that, you know? And I thought that was what was so unique about it. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, and people have the right to go on being codependent forever and not die. And that's really the tragedy. I've never encountered something, certainly not in a play, where there was such a depth of journey even before the violence, such that we really cared about these people. We even cared about Clay, although, you know, eventually not so much, at least me personally. But I was sort of like, what the hell happened? I mean, now he's killing people. But
for me as a writer, there's always a goal, which is that I never write about people I don't love.
Yeah,
every character I've ever written is a character I love. I try not to ever make fun of my characters. I might point out the absurdity of who they are or what they want, but it's important. I never hate my characters, and I do think there are playwrights who hate the people they write about, and you can tell that. And like their plays are like acts of vengeance on these sort of characters. And for me, they're always kind of, no matter how dark and strange it gets, I still want you to still think of people as people. You know, that this happens to people, and everyone always has a soul. That's a goal of mine as a writer, is that everyone always has a soul, no matter who they are. Even Clay has a soul, and in some ways, his soul is the richest of all the souls, and that's also why he's the worst of all the people.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Whereas, you know, like Aiden is a sweetheart, but, you know, you kind of get the impression that there's a lot more growing left to do there. And there is a lack of complexity to Aiden, which allows him to sort of pass through the story in a way that the other characters don't, but that doesn't mean his time isn't coming. Like there might be a sequel where Aiden is just as bad as Clay or whatever, you know? Probably not. I'm not writing that. Don't expect that.
I'll write it. Sounds good.
Good.
Well, I think it's pretty late. We should I just wanted to wrap this up by saying thank you all so much for being a part of this, for this really brilliant conversation that we had afterwards. Stuart, thank you for writing this play, giving us the opportunity to dive into this. And Joe and John, thank you for you know, putting this on for this platform. Thank you for Theater Rhino. It's been a blast to work on this.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Pleasure. And as I say, just amazing, phenomenal work. Yay.
Thank you.
This is one where we really need the applause. You had some recorded applause, didn't you? Didn't you have recorded applause, Nick? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's somewhere. I could.
They
find
always
it,
sound like
but...
the toilet flushing. Yeah. Let's end with some applause. Yeah. Yay!
Thank you, everyone.
Good word.
Thank you all so very, very, very much.